My name is James Dixon. I'm Black, I'm queer, I'm a performer, and I am a director. This project at its core is about identity. And for the purposes of this documentary, you will see many Black and brown faces. But as a cisgender male, I will be the minority. We just commemorated the 50th anniversary of Stonewall, and there are many discussions surrounding who threw the first brick, who didn't, who started the riots. But what's not ongoing is a conversation surrounding those of us in our community who are still marginalized. So I asked some brave and generous friends of mine if they would give us an intimate look inside their lives. So say hello to my friends.
Hi, I'm Shaniqua, performer, hairstylist, and makeup artist. I do drag, and in my drag, I promote body positivity. Being a plus-size Black trans woman, I let people know that I'm comfortable with being me. I'm also a pageant queen, so a lot of the times that I reflect my time and my anger into rhinestone gowns, making costumes, making new wigs for myself, helping my drag kids. I put my time and positivity into that because when the world's all bad, you just want something to just do and focus on. So that's what I do.
I'm Marquis, aka Marquise. I'm a creative and a musician. I identify as a non-binary trans femme. My pronouns are they, them, unless I've specified otherwise. Moving to LA and how just wild the gay boys treat trans girls or just femmes in general is so shocking. And I'd never been in a city where that was a thing, and I found myself physically fighting gay boys because they were just mistreating femmes, mistreating me when I'm presenting high femme. And for a long time I didn't understand that, and then it clicked that this sort of transphobia and I hate using this buzzword, but toxic masculinity just sort of bleeds into the community through gay men, white gay men especially. The first ones to ride for y'all are the trans girls, and you treat us this way. So it's very frustrating, and definitely a conversation that needs to be had.
Zell Smershon. My pronouns are they, them, or he, him. I live in a suburb of Portland, Oregon. Black, trans, creative person who gives a fuck. People don't get that, to be Black and trans, it's so fucking different. I came out to my family, which knew when I was really young, that there was something different about me. And I probably came out 9 times. And it wasn't until I decided to change my name that I got disowned. I haven't spoken to my mother in 3 years coming on now. My dad and I just started talking again. My brother, who I was really tight with, we're not so tight anymore. We do talk, but it was, he had a whole lot of, basically fragility around it. Who you couldn't be gay because I saw you kiss a boy once, or you couldn't be, trans or queer. What does that mean to me, he had said to me. And I was it doesn't mean anything. I'm the same person.
I'm Cole Prophet. I am 40 years old. I am a non-binary queer person, and I've lived in Portland for 11 years. I feel I'm in a place in my life now where I feel more affirmed and secure in my gender than I ever had. Whenever people are trying to assess how gay or trans or whatever the fuck you are, I think after my 4th decade, I lost all fucks. It's I don't care. If you're not engaging with me on any sort of a personal level, if you're just passing judgment based off of what you see in passing, then why do I care what your assessment of my gender or sexuality is? I am a therapist. I work with people who are working on their individual issues as well as relationships. The people that I provide therapy to are all either queer, people of color, or folks who are in polyam relationships. Most of them some combination of the three. A lot of stuff we deal with is in fact trauma-based because that permeates every area of your life.
My name is Lucas Maximiliano Soto. That's my colonized name. And my Indian name is Eshkanag Niahasi, or Hornsdown in English. I use he, him pronouns, they, them as well. I identify as a transmasculine, two-spirit individual, female to male. I was born biologically male and transitioned, and now present more masculine, but I don't really identify with gender.
It's not that I'm like turning more against the gay community, but I'm finding that I don't want to be included a lot because I feel excluded. Like I said again before, I feel like a lot of gay guys push transgender girls away because, oh, she thinks she's fish. She thinks she's a woman now because she has, this, and this. No, it's not the fact that I think that I am a woman, but I am also a trans woman first. So people they sit there and take my transition as in I push myself away from the gay community, or my transition as I'm still not a drag queen, or I still do all those things. I still think I'm gay. I have my gay kids. I have my family. But the fact is, it doesn't change who I am. Me as a black trans woman, I have so many friends that I grew up with that are dead now. Who get myself together? Sorry, it's different. People don't care about the trans community. When it comes to the LGBT, they forget about the T all the time. So it's to forget about it, it's sad because the fact is we're a big part of what the LGBT pride was. That's what pride was about, built off of trans women. And we forget to celebrate trans women at all. Sorry.
No, it's totally fine. That's what we're here for.
It would be enough to just deal with the gender thing alone. But when you're in a world that wants you dead, for your race and then your gender too, and then you have your people of your families of color around you who are also how dare you bring more attention on us? And it gets crazy. I think even just outside of our familiar relationships where everybody, even just in communities, has that kind of internalized inductive fear about what we all should be doing as black trans people.
I don't think I've had a conversation with my dad to this day about my gender or sexuality. As far as my mom's concerned, I think I accidentally, not on accident, left out Daughters of Darkness on the dryer. It was this book of lesbian erotic tales. And my mom's like, what is this? Why do you have this? I'm because I'm a lesbian, and I was 15, and she's like, you're too young to know what you are. It's
Am I?
Am I though? Sacramento, that was my hometown. So basically, as far as the community is concerned, I came out when I was 15, instantly found the Lambda Community Center youth group and went from there. I had instant community. It was really good because prior to that I had felt pretty isolated until it's oh yeah, you're a baby queerdo. That might be why you can't find any friends. I guess I hope for people to find some ways to have safety in their life, whether it be internally or in their community or whatever that looks like, so that they can express themselves and be who they are. I mean, part of what trauma does is it has a lot of shame involved. And whenever we talk about the idea of not being queer enough, that's a shaming thing, right? And then where do you belong if you're not queer enough to be with the queers? Or you're clearly not straight and that doesn't feel right. I feel a lot of times with things that people go through, their symptoms, what makes it worse is trying to push it away, act like it doesn't exist, try to make it go away. It's there. You have to look it in the face and you have to try and understand it and listen to what it's trying to tell you. You have to make friends with it. It's not always going to be your best friend. Sometimes you have that friend you don't call. But like sometimes they show up at your door and it's like, okay, I have to have a plate for you because otherwise you're gonna eat everything in the house.
Right. They're going to eat everything in the house and the house is going to fall.
Yes.
The song is just about honoring the woman, honoring that female energy. So the term Two-Spirit is actually pretty new. It was thought up in the late 80s by a group of American Indian gay men. I, know a lot of my elders, a lot of my teachers, a lot of the people that have been a big piece of my life and my spiritual journey the last several years are the people that directly created that term. And at the time in the 80s was the AIDS epidemic. And there was young people, mostly young men, that were dying left and right of AIDS, and there was lots of movement happening, lots of coalition, lots of talking about rights, and the American Indian didn't feel included in that. There was no space for us. There was no inclusion in LGBT for Native peoples. Generally, you come from a clan, and those clan come from a land, and we have connection to that. And so to be queer doesn't fully encapsulate who we are as a people culturally. And they thought, well, what about Two-Spirit? Because that encompasses both the masculine and the feminine. I carry the term Two-Spirit because I've had to do my work. And it's not just because I'm queer or not because I'm trans or, not any of that. It's because of the medicine that I carry and the way that I choose to walk in the world.
So for many of us, the concept of survival can be a very complicated thing, especially when you approach it from the perspective of the gender binary, cultural norms, racism. I personally have witnessed more transphobia, more misogyny, and more racism in our own community than any other community, which is baffling when you think about the fact that many of us dealt with it from our families. Many of us dealt with it from the lives we've left behind, and then to come back here and be in a community where we're supposed to feel safe. It's just baffling how much more dangerous it is in these safe spaces when people don't really see us and see our barriers or see all the members in our community for who we really are. Many of us are just trying to get up every day and just breathe, just take up a little bit more space and walk through the world without as carefree in our bodies as we can and literally just breathe.
Remember, we're human beings. Like, the way you are living your life as a Black trans person is personal to you. So you need to let everybody have that. That's why we're here. Like, you're fucking backwards if you're thinking that you can go in and tell everybody. Like, what does that sound like? A Black person going and telling a bunch of Black people how Black they should be or how mixed or all this and policing that? No. You either love me or you don't. What I want is to live my life, and I'm here for that and here for helping other people do that 100%. I mean, that's the point. You have this one shot and you don't even know how long it's gonna last. So why waste it? Use it while you have it and use it the best way you can, I feel like we all should be doing that fearlessly. We wanna be treated as human beings. That means we wanna walk out the door, go to work and not have hassles. We wanna hit that stage, have a gorgeous time, give her all, not have to deal with all the complications, the dangerous situations that pile up.
So often I feel like pretty helpless and like, how am I contributing to like helping my community, and how like, what am I doing like where I'm at right now to like be a voice and like help. And like the way I reconcile that is through my music and performing and speaking. So, because I can't be on the front lines getting maced and tear gas as much as like the fire in me would love to do that. I can't. And so, yeah, I reconcile that through like my performance and like being a voice where and when I can.
Make some noise for Shaniqua Moore! I need to bring attention to this dress. This dress is covered with the lost lives of our trans brothers and sisters and everyone in between. This is terrible. This needs to stop. You're a trans woman. I'm agendered. And I want to say, this needs to stop.